Welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Alice Alexander, and tonight we give a warm, howling welcome to the minds behind the Wolfpack at this London Gala Screening.
I always, metaphorically described our childhood as, him being the landowner and us the people who work on the land.
How did you get involved with the film and meeting you guys and stuff like that?
Oh, well, I was actually just walking down First Avenue in New York City, and they ran past me on the street. And there's something very intriguing about them, and I ran after them. And I met up with them, and I asked them where they're from, and they said Delancey Street, which is right down the street from us. And I was like, what? Where are you from? I've never seen you around here. And then Govinda asked me, he said, what is it that you do for a living? And I told him that I was a filmmaker and got really excited. What did you say? What did you say?
Well, then I said we're interested in getting into the business of filmmaking, and that was kind of the hook right there. And we became friends.
Yeah. We became friends, and then we just, started hanging out and looking at cameras, and that was just the start of it, yeah.
Approaching it from, I guess, a friendship point of view first, rather than kind of a director to the subject, how do you feel that impacted on the film and the way it was created?
I just think it was just a very natural, organic experience for us. There wasn't ever a plan, which can be a good and a bad thing. But when I met them, I always knew that I wanted to do something with them, a project with them. I just wasn't sure what it was going to be.
My parents didn't encourage us to communicate with society, so we were kind of shut off. Always lived in this apartment.
In the summer, there was more chance of us getting out. Sometimes we go out once a year.
What's the biggest change for you guys since going from, I guess, anonymity to, I guess, public acclaim?
I think the biggest change is just, I think everyone just knowing who you are and just being comfortable with that. Because it goes from one extreme to another, It's living in isolation and then it's being in the public eye. But we feel pretty comfortable with that, so.
Yeah, how do you guys handle the constant recognition I'm sure you guys are getting?
I mean, it's fascinating. Everyone's really nice and really sweet, and they connect with this story and they connect with the movie. So it's kind of a bonding thing.
Do you feel like this is the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end when it comes to this film?
This might be...
They haven't seen the film, so they don't completely see that
Well,
reference.
we haven't seen the film, but I know that reference because I know,
Well, we know it's good.
yeah, because I know she got the rights to that song, so...
Wasn't easy.
Yeah, well, good choice. It was Sabbath, and we're all into Sabbath. I think it's a new beginning for us. That's as much as I'll say. And, we've already had an ending to one chapter in our lives, so we're looking forward to the new frontier.
It's an interesting process if you go from isolation and then to out in the wilderness, in other words, but a nice wilderness. It's interesting because there was no middle ground really time for us, so we went from opposite worlds, really shifted. The coin really turned on the other side. It's interesting having people recognize you and tell you how much they loved your story and how motivated they are to follow the same direction.
And how do you guys feel about the film coming to an end? Or just, do you feel like this is the beginning of the end or the end of the beginning?
It is definitely the end of the beginning.
Yeah.
This is like 3D, man.
It's very fresh out here.
And at one particular year, we never got out at all.
One of my favorite scenes is when you guys were just dancing around to Tarzan Boy.
He filmed that.
Yeah, beautiful. I loved it. What's your favorite? I guess you haven't seen it. What was your favorite part to videotape or to actually have on camera?
I think the favorite part is when we made our trip to the apple orchard, and because we all went as a family and we were just in nature and upstate. I think that was a beautiful moment for all of us.
What about you?
What was the question?
What's
yeah?
What was your favorite part?
I would say the apple orchard. And I liked shooting Tarzan Boy.
So movies opened up another world. If I didn't have movies, life would be pretty boring.
This outfit is made out of cereal boxes and yoga mats.
We didn't make any friends. We were homeschooled.
What about favorite film and favorite film to watch and favorite film to reenact?
To watch, it changes every now and then. I feel like here my favorite film is Trainspotting, because I don't know, it has like the Trainspotting was such an a hard like adrenaline drive that took place in the streets of England, of the UK, and it's one of my favorites. To reenact, I think it's still The Dark Knight for me.
To watch or to reenact?
To watch right now, Rock and Roll High School maybe. Yeah. To reenact, I'm not sure about that.
I did everything I could to escape my world. I kind of thought, why don't we do those films? It makes me feel like I'm living, sort of, because it's kind of magical.
I remember being very scared of going out into the world.
What is your favorite part of the film?
I have 3, really. One is where my mother calls my grandmother, and she has her moment of joy and happiness through tears. And another is me and my brothers dancing in the dark to Tarzan Boy. Yes. And when my mother is walking in the fields, and then she breaks away from my dad, and then I come to her and ask. We never had a chance to walk in the orchards together. It was a really touching moment for me.
I love the absolute positivity of the film, and Tarzan Boy was actually one of my favorite scenes as well. What about you? Your favorite scene?
I'd say probably when my mom calls Grandma, so.
Have you guys met the grandma yet in the extended family?
We have. We not only met our grandmother, we've met 50 other members of our family in Three Oaks, Michigan.
He thinks there's somebody following us. I guarantee there's somebody following.
My father, his system was just like a ticking bomb. What did he expect when all of us become of age? We're still gonna do things his way?
I don't think our father knew we had it in us. I guess he always saw us as the little boys who couldn't.
I guess the go-to question of what do you guys hope that the audience takes away from seeing the film?
I hope that anybody who sees it will come out with a sense of hope, feel that they don't have to be held down or trapped, and just feel like they can just go chase their dreams, go their own way. And I hope it teaches them a lesson to never take movies for granted. And I hope it encourages more women in the film industry, because most of the entire crew were women. It took them to tell a story that's centered on 6 boys. So,
just to never give up hope, no matter how down you may feel or how depressed you may feel or how low you feel in your life. Take that next step and don't let fear hold you back.
Any words of advice?
What he said.
And then we transformed into the boys who can.